Good morning, all you amazing people. Here's my latest thoughts, and here's a news article for you. Just so you guys know, the news is very thin. There's very little coming out. A lot of it's just complete nonsense that's not worth your time to see. Okay, it's little odds and ends about demonstration, and even the demonstrations themselves are kind of dwindling down, coming to an end a little bit. So, and as you guys see, Parliament's, remember I've been telling you guys since at least August-ish, that if you look back at the last parliamentary term and this one, I kept telling you guys that regarding the rate change, Iraq has almost nothing left to do. That's why Parliament literally is not holding sessions and getting anything credible done, okay? Because the things they need to do, they can't do until after the rate change, okay? So that's why they're just literally getting almost nothing done, it seems like. So, because regarding the rate change, there's nothing left for them to do. All their major things they need to do have to happen after the rate change. So, all right, let's get started. So, you guys have heard me periodically throughout this year. I've made comments where I've said that I've kind of felt there could be a chance that the formation of the government's already done and complete. Okay. Now, remember, that is my opinion, but let's look at this for a second. Notice how almost a month ago, when they just tackled the education and health ministers, noticed how prior to completing the education minister, there was a lot of bickering between all the groups as to who they really wanted for an education minister. They made it look like that they were in complete disagreement on that. And then out of nowhere, they can go from being in complete disagreement to just pulling an education minister out of thin air. Okay, think about that carefully. That should suggest to you guys that they probably already had an education minister lurking or lingering in the background. But again, they have to show some type of instability in the country, so they were kind of delaying the announcement of that. But the demonstrations forced them to move faster and bring forth an education minister a lot faster. But again, there's a good chance the education minister was already there and that position was already filled. Okay, so guys, and notice how they told us that the last thing that we were going to see on the proxies was, they said that the proxies all had until October 24th to get moved out. But yet October 24th came and went, and they didn't give any updates at all on that. They have not provided one single update on the proxy, so we don't know where it's at. Did they get them out? Are they still there? They haven't said anything. We don't know. So what I'm trying to show you guys is I firmly believe that and again, this is my opinion, that the formation of the government is I actually personally think it's completely done. Okay, I really don't think we're actually waiting on proxies any longer or anything like that. I think it's been done for a while, and the way that they handled and brought forth the education minister, how they could at first showed you they had differences with an education minister, but then regarding the demonstrations, they pulled an education minister just out of nowhere, out of thin air. That suggests to me, guys, that the formation of the government is farther along than they're telling us. Okay, so that's just so you guys know. That's why you don't see me putting a huge emphasis on the formation of the government or the proxies anymore, because I actually think it's farther along than they're telling us. I think it's actually done. So my big focus right now, guys, and again, this is per the news, okay, the current facts are telling us that, at least right now, the next thing we're looking to see is the completion of the 2020 budget. Remember that article from yesterday? I'm sorry, it would have been from, not yesterday, Wednesday. The last video I did for you guys on Wednesday, they said right in it that Iraq has to have transparency. Okay, so that would suggest to us that we are definitely waiting for them to finish and complete the approval of the 2020 budget. They're most likely not gonna. They'll finish one reading remember, the budget will be like it's the standard law approval process. They have to do 3 readings and a final vote. So they'll probably get 1 reading done, or the first reading done this year, and then take some kind of they'll take roughly a 30-day break from about December 15th to about January 15th. And then after January 15th, they'll get the last 2 readings done. They'll probably get the last 2 readings done by early March sometime, and have the 2020 budget done completely, by early March. So that's what we're looking to see. And then after that, guys, the news suggests to me personally, in my opinion, that after they shortly after they finish the 2020 budget, it's game over. And the news is showing we probably don't have anything else to wait for after they complete the 2020 budget. I firmly believe, based on the current facts, that will be the last step we're looking to see before they indeed change the rate. And don't forget, guys, I've strongly suggested to you too that Donald Trump's definitely in charge of all this. He's the one putting sanctions and tariffs on everyone. Plus, it's the U.S. government that actually poured trillions of dollars into the country of Iraq, and the U.S. is the one that shed blood for Iraq. So really, the U.S. is in charge, not so much the IMF and the World Bank. They might have a little say, but not on timing. In my opinion, the timing of this is all dictated and directed by the Trump administration. And I will promise you that he's going to use the timing of the rate change to benefit his political gain. Now, I want to stress one more thing to you guys. You guys, during my last 2 predictions or guesstimates as to when I actually thought the rate change might happen, which was around I had one in mid-July, and then I had another one towards the end of September. Notice how during those two guesstimates, I've always told you the U.S. markets have to hit record highs. They did, but now here's my point. The Dow right now, guys, is actually heading to 28,000 points. Right now, the Dow's in around the 27,400 range. Okay, again, around 27,400. So the Dow's actually heading to 28,000 points. Now, here's my point to you. There's a very good chance that around March, the Dow could be around 28,000 points. So my point is around March, the markets could all be at first time ever record highs again. And we're walking into that exact same scenario. So I just want to stress that to you. So if they did, or if they were to change the rate, say, around late March, so that way they could walk into Q2 with a new rate in hand. Okay, so if they did it in late March, they would have, higher U.S. markets, suggesting a strong economy, and then at that point, change the rate and inject billions of dollars from the rate change into our pockets and into our economy. And Trump looks like, the king. Trump looks amazing. He's got a strong economy he's guaranteed and promised, and Trump comes out winning, boom, 7 to 8 months right before the U.S. November elections. So think about that carefully, guys. It's kind of all unfolding right before your eyes as I'm sharing it with you. Okay, so that's my opinion of where we're at. You guys have an amazing day and take care. Here's a news article for you guys talking about the 2020 budget. It doesn't give us a lot of detail, though, as to when they plan to at least, pass it off to Parliament for the first reading. They're still making it look like the budget's in limbo. So anyway, here's the article. You guys have a great day.
Abdul Mahdi, we are working to find a budget capable of managing the economy correctly and increase the non-oil resources. Posted by Walter, November 7, 2019. Baghdad Al-Ghad Press. Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi said on Thursday the importance of the public budget and the lives of citizens, the country and the economy. The budget is not just figures and an imbalance, and it leads to an imbalance in economic, health, educational, and other progress, Abdul Mahdi's media office said in a press release. He chaired the expanded meeting of the 2020 Budget Committee. We are working to find a budget capable of managing the economy properly and increasing non-oil resources, and to initiate serious reforms and adjustments for all outstanding and thorny financial problems in a national and equitable spirit. The Bureau noted that the meeting reviewed the lagging projects that led to the loss of huge funds and jobs and produced extensive unemployment, and stalled projects returned to work, and discussed many economic, financial, and investment-related issues. He pointed out that the Prime Minister directed the need for monitoring and accounting for performance and implementation, and the continued holding of the meetings of the Budget Committee to accelerate the completion and submission to the House of Representatives at the earliest.